Destiny 2 Trials of Osiris. What can I really say at this point that hasn't already been said to death? Token system, lack of adept weapons, cheaters, complete reskin, flawless isn't special, no bounties that reward players, cheaters, and cheaters. Did I miss anything? I think we all know at this point that Trials Return was a complete failure. It's an absolute mess and hilariously memeable at this point with quotes like, "We didn't want it to be half-baked and we're going to fix it," when it didn't fix anything and came out before even touching the oven. But today, we're not going to just ramble about Destiny 2's problems, of which there are many. Instead, we're actually going to focus on why Trials in Destiny 1 really was something special. Now, first off, I do want to mention, of course, that Trials has never been perfect and has had more than a few problems, even in Destiny 1. Some of those problems has cost my friends and I a headset or two in the past as they flew down our hallways at 90 miles per hour. But despite all these numerous problems, what was it that hooked many players to Trials of Osiris? Well, looking back before the release of House of Wolves, there were always talks of a 3v3 competitive mode coming in the DLC, but it was never confirmed. At the time, my friends and I played a lot of Skirmish, which is a great 3v3 game mode that didn't sadly make a return to Destiny 2, and we were always excited to see if this 3v3 competitive mode would be coming eventually. When we finally saw the Trials of Osiris reveal in the House of Wolves trailer and watched the reveal stream with Triple Rec playing at Bungie, my two buddies and I significantly increased our playtime in Skirmish together. We wanted to dominate this new PvP mode and we prepped the best that we could. When Trials finally released, it felt so good to play. The round-based gameplay and the intensity of each match was extremely fun. It was something new and it felt so right for Destiny. I thought we were prepared to go flawless, no question, during week 1, but we played a few hours every day of that first weekend, and after many failed attempts, the flawless run just never happened. We came close so many times, but in the end, the teams we played were just simply better than us. Initially, I was a little upset that we didn't get the flawless week 1, but I knew if we wanted that trip to the lighthouse, we had to step up our game. Over the next few days, I played so much Crucible in preparation for week 2 of Trials, and the first couple cards we ran, we didn't get the flawless, but on the third card, we got that sweet, sweet lighthouse victory. From that week forward, I enjoyed many more trips to the lighthouse with friends or LFG groups that led to new friendships. Every single weekend, I was there for Trials. But what kept me returning was not just the competitive gameplay, it was also the loot. Starting with adept weapons. Adept weapons were essentially just the Trials weapons like the Scholar, the Summoner, the Jewel of Osiris, but with elemental damage on them. And in D1 Year 1, elemental primaries were king. I was always on the hunt for a solar Jewel of Osiris to complete my one of each elemental hand cannon set. Fatebringer was Arc, Word of Crota was Void, and Jewel of Osiris was Solar. It took me over 10 flawless runs before I got that gun, but it was definitely worth it. Of course, it is a little bit ridiculous that the reward for high-end PvP was an excellent PvE version of the weapons, but at the end of the day, at the time, I was okay with it. Flawless offered high chances at exotics, more Trials armor, a unique Flawless emblem, adept weapons, and other rewards like Etheric Light. A flawless run was very rewarding, but even if you weren't going flawless, Trials was still worth your time. In Destiny 1, you could earn pretty good rewards if you could at least win a few games. There were 4 separate packages as well as an armor piece and a weapon for sale from Brother Vance. With various wins, you could acquire these rewards directly from Brother Vance himself. The lower tier packages contained Motes of Light and more passage coins, while the higher tier ones could drop armor and weapons that weren't for sale that week. An armor piece and a weapon was sold if you reached 5 and 7 wins respectively, and the progression and reward system here just made so much more sense than the terrible token system that continues to plague every single aspect of Destiny 2. Passage coins and boons made more sense than 3 separate cards, and it didn't allow for people to reset cards over and over to farm low wins for a weapon. The package tiers were great for even more loot that Brother Vance wasn't selling like weapons and armor. Beyond these many rewards already, match completions also had a rare chance to drop ships, shaders, emblems, and a whole other unique armor set known as the Watcher set. These aftermatch rewards led to so much replayability to collect everything. For example, it took me forever to get the Amdawad Ink shader, and beyond the main Trials gear set, I also wanted a full set of Watcher gear on all my characters. The amount of replayability and rewards in Trials was incredible at the time, and I think some people have forgotten just how much rewards there really were in Destiny 1 Trials. It wasn't just the Adept weapons that kept people playing. It was everything. Collecting all regular and Adept weapons, 2 separate armor sets per character, 3 armor shaders, 2 separate ships, 5 emblems including the flawless one, and upgrade materials like etheric light and high chances for exotic weapons and armor. I played Trials every single week in D1 Year 1 and I just barely got everything before taking King's release. That was almost 4 months of replayability thanks to the many rewards. So when Bungie brings back Trials in D2 and 80% of the rewards and replayability isn't there, and the things they did bring back were just reskins, then of course people are going to be upset. Again, the amount of rewards were really incredible even in D1 Year 1, and the fact that after 2 years of hiatus from Trials, this is what Bungie came up with is just embarrassing considering 5 years ago it was so much more. Like I said, the game mode was never perfect and it could be frustrating to play at times against cheesy weapons or loadouts, but Trials was definitely worth your time in most cases. New emblems and bounties were added to replace the packages, and they were even more rewarding than before. Adept weapons were given bonus perks instead of elemental damage. Year 3 we got some of the best armor sets for Trials and even more great weapons, shaders, and emblems. It still remained extremely rewarding, and going to that ever-elusive lighthouse always felt incredible. Hell, even in Destiny 2 Year 1 with Trials of the Nine, something I was never a fan of at all, they at least managed to make brand new armor sets and weapons, as well as a new social space for Flawless. How they managed to take 2 years to reskin just 20% of the old Trials content is beyond me. Again, Trials has never been and probably will never be perfect, but goddamn if they put even the slightest bit of effort into it, it wouldn't be dead on arrival. I honestly don't have hope that the mode will ever redeem itself, even with the Adept weapons they say they're working on. I just don't think it's going to be enough. No way will they be making new shaders, ships, or a second armor set to acquire unless they're sold to us in Eververse. Trials' best days are long behind us, and honestly, I believe Destiny's best days as a whole are also long behind us. Even if this upcoming fall expansion releases with a great campaign, some cool new locations, and a good raid, I just don't think that the core underlying foundation this game continues to build off of will hold up much longer. And as much as I want to have hope and believe things will get better, I just don't. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Trials of Osiris and Destiny 2, and share some of your cool memories you had in Destiny 1 Trials of Osiris. I know the game mode was never perfect, but I have a lot of great memories with Trials of Osiris and Destiny 1, and I would love to hear some great memories you guys have in the comment section below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new here, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and I will catch you all next time.
Capture the zone.